Hi folks, the community has voted and the majority wants to see an in-depth analysis of the new Bitcoin ETF. And therefore we will have a closer look today at the new ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF with the ticker BITO. In this video I'm going to break down what this ETF is, how it works, as well as some reasons as to why you would want to buy this ETF and some reasons as to why you maybe wouldn't want to buy this ETF. And finally, I will talk about my own opinion on BITO and whether or not I will buying this new ETF. You see, this video is loaded, so grab something to drink, make yourself comfortable and enjoy. So, everyone who follows my channel knows that I'm a fan of ETFs and that I'm invested in two of them. But to understand why, let me explain what is actually an ETF. An exchange-traded fund in an ETF is a type of security that tracks an index, sector, commodity or other asset, but which can be purchased or sold on a stock exchange the same way a regular stock can. An ETF can be structured to track anything from the price of an individual commodity to a large and diverse collection of securities. ETFs can even be structured to track specific investment strategies like dividends, for example. So, in my case, just so that you understand it better, I'm invested in an MSCI World ETF. And within this ETF are over 4,000 different companies or stocks from the Western world. And the same for the MSCI World EM. EM stands for Emerging Markets. ETF for the developing countries. Hence, with an ETF you are well diversified and you limit your risk. Not like if you would invest in a single stocks, right? So, now you know what an ETF is. Let's have a closer look on the BITO ETF. The ProShares Bitcoin Strategy ETF has been traded on Wall Street since October 19th, 2021. It is the first exchange-traded index fund on the cryptocurrency Bitcoin to be approved in the US. So far, Bitcoin ETFs only exist in a few other regions such as Canada or Asia. The hype surrounding the first US Bitcoin ETF then broke a record. On the second day of trading, the BITO reached the $1 billion mark in assets under management. The previous record holder was the SPDR Gold Shares ETF GLD for 18 years. And it can be said that the introduction of the BITO also affected the price of Bitcoin, as Bitcoin went to a new all-time high of $66,930 on Wednesday. But now to the important stuff. BITO only invests indirectly in Bitcoin through futures, because in the small print of the ETF prospectus it becomes clear. ProShares does not trade with BTC at all, but only with so-called future contracts. I quote, "The fund seeks capital appreciation primarily through managed exposure to Bitcoin future contracts. The fund does not invest directly in Bitcoin," says ProShares. In addition, you have a management fee of 0.95 cents, which means if you invest 10K, you will pay $95 on fees. Anyone has experience with ETFs knows that is not cheap. And the fact that ProShares only trades future contracts and not Bitcoin itself means the following. The financial company may only invest in Bitcoin futures that have been regulated and approved by the Commodity Future Trading Commission of the US, CFTC. And these are currently only available at the Chicago Mercantile Exchange, the CME. Futures are basically bets on the future price development of Bitcoin and or other assets, and thus highly speculative. Correspondingly, ProShares has to write on its BITO ETF, and I quote, "You should be prepared to lose your entire investment. BITO can, but does not have to develop the same way as the Bitcoin price on a real crypto exchanges." So, you can expect that the price and the performance of Bitcoin futures will deviate from the current spot price of Bitcoin. Folks, these differences can be significant. So, that means if BTC should grow to new heights, that does mean that BITO will do that too. And after all, the traders could have also bet on falling BTC rates at the CME. To sum this up, folks, I would not invest in BITO except if you think short term and you want to bet on it, like day trading kind of way. But for a long-term investor like me, I prefer to invest in the real Bitcoin or Ethereum. But perhaps you still have trouble to invest in Bitcoin or crypto because you don't know which trading platform to use and how. Well, I can tell you which ones I use, and that would be BlockFi, which I use for Bitcoin and Ethereum, because there I get up to 5% interest on my crypto, which is pretty awesome. And the other is Binance, where you can buy and stake all kinds of cryptocurrencies, like me, for example, Cardano. I will link both of them in the description box below in case you want to check them out. That being said, let me tell you, to open a wallet is pretty easy, and to set up a ledger, which is kinda USB stick where you can park your crypto, as well. You can find tons of good guides on YouTube. So I encourage you to invest in crypto, even if it's just for diversification, but not through this ETF, as you pay higher fees there and you don't get the real deal. In general, it can be said about the ETF that it is not diversified and concentrates on a single investment, the BTC futures contracts. But ETFs are popular because they enable diversification across many different assets. The MSCI World ETF, as I stated at the beginning, is the best example of this. BITO, however, depends on a single asset and it's accordingly risky and expensive. And as I promised, if you want to invest in a Bitcoin ETF, wait for Grayscale Investments, as the world's largest digital currency asset manager has filed with the SEC to convert its Grayscale Bitcoin Trust GBTC into a Bitcoin spot ETF, and spot would mean that the ETF would always scale the same as Bitcoin. So now you have a pretty good overview about the BITO ETF. I hope you liked the video, and if so, please give it a thumbs up, as the dang algorithm likes this stuff. That's it. Thanks for watching, and remember, stay focused and don't get greedy. See you next time.